Good morning. This worksheet is called Sketch Each Line and Find the Slope and Y-intercept. In this handout, they give you the equation and you have to find the slope and Y-intercept. And then we're going to sketch the line as we do that. So starting with number 1, we'll do most of these, not all of them, because I'm going to save some for you to do. But I think if we do, 4 or 5 of these, I think you'll be able to catch on. Pretty simple. Okay, in this form, all these equations are written in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, that's a useful form because m is your slope and the letter b is the y-intercept. Okay, so keep that in mind. The y and x's just come along, so really we're paying attention to m and b. Okay, so in this first question, it wants to know the slope. The slope is going to be negative 4 over 3, and the y-intercept is going to be negative 1. So be careful, that's minus 1, and we'll treat it as a negative 1. Remember, my slope in words, something you've learned a long time ago, is always rise over run. And I plot this first. Okay, so I'm going to plot the y-intercept first, which is negative 1. Put a dot at negative 1, and then from this dot I'm going to rise negative 4 and go over 3. Now I only have to do one of those negatives, so I'm going to start here, go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to the right 3, 1, 2, 3, and put my other dot. Again, negative 4, there's 3. Rise over run. Now sketch my line. Draw that line as best that you can through the entire graph. Okay. Number 3. Okay, here we have y equals 3 over 2x plus 3. My slope is 3 over 2. And I'm always going to write rise over run. I want you always to remember that. The y-intercept is positive 3. Again, always do the y-intercept first. Again, little heads up there. Plot that first. So positive 3. Go starting at the origin. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then from my y-intercept, do my rise over run, which is 3 over 2. So starting here, go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Looks like it went off my graph. And go 2 over. So my point is actually off my grid. No big deal. We're close enough. Draw your line all the way through, and you are done. Again, you can review these. You can stop the video at any time to review something. Number 5, slope, negative 5 over 2. Again, I'm going to go rise over run. Y-intercept is negative 1. Again, I'm going to just let you know, I'm going to plot that first. Okay, so negative 1. Put a dot at negative 1, and then my slope, negative 5, so I have to drop down 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Notice I go off my grid and go over 2. Again, negative 5 over 2. Draw your line as best you can all the way through your graph. Now let me go up to here to this one up here so you guys can see that I did 3 and over 2 on that one. Notice we make little right triangles every time we do this. Every single one, there's a little right triangle involved. Plotting my point and then using my rise over run from that point. So keep that in mind. Alright, number 7. Slope is negative 7 over 6. Y-intercept is 2. Alright, so now without any instruction, I'm going to plot y-intercept at 2. Again, it's always the first thing I do. And the rise over run, negative 7. So from this point, drop down 7. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. And run 6 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Estimating off my grid. So here's my triangle. There it is right there. Drop down 7, run over 6, and draw my line. Okay. Notice my rise is negative, my run is positive. Okay. How about we'll just do one more? How about this one right here? Notice my slope is -3. I'm going to put it over 1 because I want a fraction. Again, rise over run. Again, be careful. The y-intercept is -3. So first thing I plot is -3, and rise -3 over 1. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. Instead of doing the rise as -3, I'm actually going to do the run as -1. So I'm going to change this to 3 over -1. Notice I can put a negative anywhere in that fraction. So I'm not going to do the original -3 over 1. I'm going to do this one, 3 over -1. So I'm going to rise 3, 1, 2, 3, but this time I'm going to go back 1. So 3, -1. Here's my triangle. And then there's my line. Again, make sure you see the change here. It was -3 over 1, but I changed it to 3 over -1. Okay. And one thing to keep in mind, if you look at your lines, my slope is negative, so I have to go down to the right. If I go back to number 7, my slope is negative, down to the right. Number 5, negative, down to the right. Number 3 is positive, it goes up to the right. Number 1 is negative, down to the right. Here's another one, number 4. My slope is 3 over 1, even though it says 3, I'm going to make it into a fraction, 3 over 1. Again, rise over run. Y-intercept is 2. So first thing I plot is the y-intercept at 2. And then do my slope, rise up 3. So starting at the y-intercept, 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Put my finishing point and draw my line. Again, 3 and 1. Always do your rise over run first from your y-intercept. I'll let you guys finish up 2 and 8 on your own, and that is it for this worksheet.